Hello, everyone. I am coming at you live here. My name is Coach Marissa. I'm going to give people just a couple minutes to get in and then we will get started. I will go ahead and introduce myself. So, again, my name is Marissa. I am the community manager here at Complete Performance Coaching, but I also have my master's in sports psychology from the University of Florida. So, on top of helping out with projects and social media aspects of complete performance coaching, I also work with athletes to help train their performance skills, motivation, confidence, and I can also help with academic skills as well. So, I know times are a little bit crazy right now. You're probably at home doing schoolwork online, maybe for the first time ever. So, if you have any questions about time management, scheduling, organizing, taking classes online and things of that nature, please let me know. I would love to help in whatever way that I can. All right, so this is my first time doing a Facebook Live, so hopefully I can figure out how to see any comments that you guys are posting, um, and we can go ahead and get started. So what we're going to be talking about today is if you are someone that is struggling with motivation right now. Maybe it's something you've struggled with for a while. Maybe this has just kind of happened given the circumstances of the world that we're in. One thing that can really help with this is creating good habits. When you create good habits, this can help with motivation, help you stay focused. And these are going to be skills that you can use now and whenever it's time to return to sport or return to your daily activities that you have. So, parents, again, you might be working from home. Athletes, you're at home. There's no school, there's no gym. You can't hang out with friends and family like you normally would. And because of all of this, motivation and structure is probably lacking. Now, I will be the first one to say that I am a huge advocate of relaxation, spending quality time with family, taking time for yourself. I think that is going to be super important during a time like this. But I also think that it's important for us to set goals for ourselves and to try to stay motivated. And to do that, we're going to focus on creating habits today. So, a quote that I love and that I try to live by says, making small changes every day and focusing on getting 1% better, that's what adds up to success over time. So, what we're going to focus on is just getting that 1% better every single day. And you do that by making good choices and following your beliefs and your values of what you think is important. It's important to remind yourself that nothing happens overnight. Um, the professionals and Olympian athletes and everything like that, they didn't just all of a sudden wake up and become professional. They worked every single day and they just got 1% better every single day. So if you think back to maybe something that you wanted to get better at, maybe a skill within your sport or something with school, 5, 6 months ago, it might have been a little bit different. And if you practiced every single day and you built up your ladder of confidence and things like that, look at where you are now. So that's important to remind yourself of when you're trying to learn a new skill, or maybe you're trying to focus on your motivation and create a new routine. It's not going to happen overnight, but the more that you practice and the more that you focus on what you want to get at, the better it's going to be. The first thing I want to talk about with motivation is figuring out your why. If you don't know why you're doing something, then it's going to be really hard to follow through in continuing to do it. So, why do you want to stay motivated? Why do you want to keep practicing? Why do you want to do well in your sport and school? And I want to challenge you to come up with a reason that's different than, well, because my mom told me I needed to, or well, my coach told me I needed to get this skill, so that's why I need to do it. I really want you to dig down deep and think about what your why is. And your why is most likely going to be different than your teammate's why or your brother or sister's why, whatever it is. Some whys that I've heard from athletes that I've worked with is, well, because I want to be motivated and do well during this quarantine time so that I can return to my sport and not feel behind. Or some of them have said, I want to return and be better than I was before so that I can level up or go to the next level that I want to go to. Maybe your why is because you just love your sport and you feel happy when you do it. And that's why you want to keep doing it over this time. So that is a great motivator to know why. Maybe you just want to make yourself proud and prove that you can do it. So figuring out your why is going to be the key to motivation. And once you know that why, I want to encourage you to write it down somewhere, maybe on a sticky note or on a post-it or something like that, and post it to your wall so that you can see it every single day. So on those days where you wake up and you're like, oh, I have to go through this again, I have to do online school, I don't get to see my friends and all of that, you can look at your why, and it's going to be a reminder to motivate you to get up and do what you want to do. It's going to remind you of how it is every day. Okay, so step one of motivation, figuring out your why. Now, the next part is when it comes to motivation, a lot of times we focus on setting goals. I think goals are super important because it gives you a direction and something to strive for. But sometimes people get stuck because they know what their goal is, they know what they want to do, but they don't really know how to get there. So maybe you have the goal of wanting to eat more healthy. Maybe you want to drink more water, or maybe you want to be active throughout the day. All of those are great goals, but what is missing is the how. So how are you going to do all of these things? And that is where habits come in. Creating habits and sticking to them help you with self-improvement. So the more that you feel good about yourself, the more you'll want to continue doing the things that make you feel good. So habits are those small things that you can do every day to help you reach your overall goal. Again, it's going to take time to see change, but the more that you stick with it and the more that you focus on it, it's going to help keep you in that present moment so that you can focus on those 1% changes every day that will eventually get to that overall goal that you're looking at. A book where I've learned a lot about habits is called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And within this book, he focuses a lot on the system of achieving your goals, not actually the goals themselves. So what I mean by this is that today we're going to focus on the process of achieving the goals that you have, not just what the results will be once you get there. I want you to start by thinking about some habits that you might already have. I'll give you some examples of my own, and maybe this will help you think of ones that you have. So for me, I drink a glass of water with lemon every single morning before I have coffee, before I have breakfast, before I do anything else. This is something I started because I heard it was good for you, and I was like, well, I need to drink more water anyways, so I'm going to start my day off right by doing something that I know is good for me. And I got in the habit of doing that. So every single morning, I have a glass of water with lemon. I also have the habit of picking out a piece of gum and starting to chew it before I go on a run. I know that it helps me with my run. It helps me stay, not feel like I'm thirsty while I'm running, so I don't have to run with a water bottle. So that is a habit that I also got in. I also have a bedtime routine. So I do the same thing when I get ready for bed every single night. So I take my contacts out, I wash my face, and then I brush my teeth. And I do the same thing every single night. The reason that these types of routines and these types of habits are important is because it helps you remember to get things done in an order that's going to help you be successful. So for me, if I forget to go in order of like taking my contacts out and I start with like brushing my teeth instead, it just confuses the whole process. And sometimes you might forget to do something. You might think of this maybe in the morning if you have like a morning routine and maybe you woke up late and your routine is all out of order. Maybe you forgot your phone on the way to work or things like that. So having is going to help you not only reach your goals, but also keep you on the right track to being successful. When you start to create habits and follow through with them, you're not only working towards your goal, you're also changing your behavior in a way that's going to support who you truly want to be. So maybe you have the goal that you want to be one of the most encouraging teammates that you can be on your team. You want to be that person that people know that they can always rely on. So every single time that you give your teammate a high five, or you tell them that they did a good job in practicing the pass that they were going through, that's putting money in your habit piggy bank and helping you become the person that you want to be. On top of this, it's important to create habits that match your values and your beliefs. So don't think that you have to create habits that someone else is doing or maybe that you think you should do unless you truly believe for what they stand for. If you can match your values to the habits that you're trying to create, you're going to be way more likely to follow through and complete them versus doing something that is important to someone else. So now we know with motivation, knowing your why is going to be super important. And you know that creating habits is going to help you get there. So, how do you create these habits? Let's dive into how to actually create and maintain habits over time. So, step number one is going to be make it obvious. The more obvious you set up the scene for whatever habit you're trying to get in, the more likely you're going to be able to do it. I'm going to go through a few examples here of ones that I've used and that athletes have used that I've worked with, and how they made it obvious. So maybe number one, you want to eat more fruits and vegetables. So you want to do this. Your why is because you know that fruits and vegetables are healthy for you and you feel good whenever you have enough fruits and vegetables throughout the day. So that's your why. And number two, make it obvious by having them be the first things that you see when you open up your fridge. If all of your fruits and vegetables are tucked away in a bin in like the back corner of your fridge, it's going to be really hard for you to see those fruits and vegetables to eat. But if they're the first things that you notice when you open your fridge, you're going to be way more likely to grab that as a snack or add it to your meal than something else. So that's how you can make it obvious. Number two, practice. Maybe you want to get in the habit of practicing your skills, stretching, or like working out every day. You can make this obvious by leaving a workout outfit and your shoes maybe that you want to wear in front of your door before you leave your bedroom for the day. Like when you wake up in the morning, you have to see those before were going to leave your bedroom. The reason that this works is because you have to make the conscious decision of either picking those up and putting them on or stepping over it and saying, you know what, I'm not going to work out today, or I'm not going to go practice my skills. So you make it obvious by leaving them out so it's easy for you to get. And then it also helps make the choice a little bit easier because it's easier to just put them on and go out for the exercise whenever it's obvious to you in that way. So step number one in creating your habits is making it obvious. And then step number two is going to be get specific. So this means setting a time and location for when you want to complete your habits. So just like with goal setting, the more specific you are, the more likely you can track it and the more likely you're going to be to do it. So just saying something like, I want to drink more water, that doesn't really give you a direction and it doesn't really provide clear instructions on how you're going to do it. So when do you want to drink more water? Within a month, within a year? We don't really know. So to get more specific with this, you could say, I want to drink 1 glass of water before I eat every meal. That's specific and that tells you how much you are going to drink throughout the day. Maybe you have a water bottle like this and you're going to say, I want to drink 1 full bottle of water, this bottle of water every single day. And you can do that throughout the day and it's really easy to track because you can see if you finish the water bottle or not. So when you are creating habits, make it obvious and also make it specific and clear by giving it a time and location. One of the best ways and a little trick I want to give you on how to create habits is pairing it with something that you already do. So what this looks like is you would say, after my current habit, I will do my new habit. So for example, if you want to practice more meditation or deliberate breathing, and a habit that you're already in is practicing your skills or conditioning and working out, you could say, after I finish working out, old habit, I will lay down on my yoga mat and meditate for 5 minutes. New habit. So I'm pairing my old habit that I know I already do every day, which is working out, with my new habit of meditation, my new habit together. You're going to be way more likely to actually complete what that is. Another example would be, say you want to drink more water. So for me, like in the morning when I drink my glass of water, my habit pairing that I do is after I start my coffee pot, so I get my coffee ready, press start, I open the fridge and pour 1 full glass of water. Those motions are reminders and cues to my body to go through the motions of the habit that I'm trying to do. That has significantly changed how I have been able to accomplish my goal of drinking water in the morning. And so that's something you can try. So that's why it's important for you to reflect on, okay, what habits do I already have? And then what are some new habits I want to create? and how can you pair them together, because that's going to help you be way more likely to actually complete them. And then finally, one thing that's going to be super important, and this goes with goal setting, it goes with habits and motivation, is tracking how you are doing your habits. So I don't know if you remember in school when you would do something really well and your teacher would give you a gold star and it would feel good and you'd be like, yay, I got a gold star for the day. So this is pretty much like a grown-up version of that. I mean, who doesn't love still getting gold stars? I know I do. So this is something, a habit tracker. I actually have one myself. So this is mine for the month of April. You can see some of my habits are 20 minutes of physical activity, having my water in the morning, 5 minutes of deliberate breathing, and doing some of my chiropractic exercises. What I did is I listed numbers 1 through 30. I think there's 30 days in April, and every single day that I complete a habit, I color it. I think it's fun to color instead of using check marks. It makes it look nice and pretty. And so this is a really great way to track your habits. And you can see, like, every day I've done my water with lemon, I've done my exercises, I've missed a couple days of deliberate breathing, and I've missed a couple days of activity. When it comes to missing days of doing your habits, rule of thumb is never miss more than 2 days in a row. Obviously, I know life happens. For me, one of the days I didn't work out was on Easter. And that's okay. Like, I'm not going to burden myself for missing 1 day of my habit. But rule of thumb, never miss more than 2 days in a row. You want to try to create as many winning streaks as possible. So every day that you get to mark off or color in that you did that habit, it's building up that reoccurring motion of you completing that goal every single day. So never try to never miss more than 2 days in a row when it comes to your habits. And then finally, one thing that is going to help with motivation, helping you stay focused and on track during this whole entire time, is accountability. So when you have other people that are going through the motions with you, maybe they're working on their own habits, maybe they're doing a habit just like you are, if you can hold each other accountable, you're going to be way more likely to complete those goals. So for me, I have a group of family and friends, and we, for the month of April, are all trying to do some type of physical activity for 20 minutes a day, every single day. And sometimes there's days where I'm tired. I've had a long work day. The last thing I want to do is go for a walk outside for 20 minutes. But I know that I can check my phone and I see all of my family and friends have done it, and they're like, come on, Marissa, like, we know you can do it. That is what is going to push me that day to go do that activity. So if you can get a group of people that you trust and that you can help hold each other accountable, that's going to help so much during this time. And I know a lot of us are missing that physical interaction with people. If you're an athlete, you miss your teammates and you miss your coaches. So this is a great way to all get together and focus on these habits that you're trying to create. So I know within our community, we have a new challenge every single day where the athletes get to come together, and it's a time for them to, it's kind of holding each other accountable for that, because they're working on a similar goal and it's something that they enjoy doing, and they also get to talk to people. And that's something that's so important during this time, is continuing things that you love. So if you like interacting, if you like talking with your teammates and talking with your coaches, then all get together, come up with a habit that you guys want to try for the month, and create an accountability group and see the difference that it makes trying to do something with other people. So I hope that all of this was helpful. I hope that you all were able to learn something new today, especially if you are struggling with some motivation during this time. If you would like more help during this time or in the future, please reach out. We have free 20-minute consults where we can come up with a quarantine plan that is specific just for you, to help you reach your goals, to stay motivated, to stay confident. So when it is time to go back to sport, whenever that may be, you are more ready than ever. So thank you guys for joining me, and we will talk more soon. Bye.